What's up, you guys? Teddy Striker here, and this Saturday is UFC 312, Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis 2. And given the result of the first fight and Dricus du Plessis' impressive win over Israel Adesanya last summer, and Strickland's boring, win over Paulo Costa, a lot of people seem to think that he's going to lose and that he should even be passed up for the title shot, and it should be Khamzat Chimaev taking on Dricus du Plessis. Now, I do agree that I would rather see Khamzat versus Dricus, but I still think that Sean Strickland has a chance of actually beating du Plessis. I'm not saying that he is going to win. I'm just making a game plan for Sean Strickland, the underdog, to come out with a victory this Saturday. And with all that being said, let's get right into some keys to victory I have for Sean Strickland to beat Dricus du Plessis. And the first key to victory I have for Sean Strickland is going to be the jab. Was Sean Strickland's best weapon in the first fight, and he was doing a lot of damage to Dricus du Plessis' face, and he was able to control the distance really well with the jab, but he wasn't really able to set up anything off his jab. He was just throwing it out there. He wasn't really throwing the right hand as much. He wasn't throwing that many left hooks or even some kicks or anything. He was just jabbing a whole lot, but du Plessis was able to, as the fight went on, nullify the jab and almost take it away and get past the jab, and he was able to win like that. So in this fight, stay consistent with the jab again, but this time, use your jab to set up some of your attacks. Don't just rely on the jab. Use your right hand as well. Use your left hook. Use your kicks. Just set up a whole bunch of attacks off your jab. Moving on to the next key to victory I have for Sean Strickland, and that's going to be in the first fight. Sean Strickland also had a lot of success when he was throwing his teep to the body, that front kick that he throws with both legs, and he was having some success with it, and it was helping him control the distance a bit more and fight at his ideal range. But for some reason, he stopped using it as the fight went on. I think after round 2, he completely abandoned that. But in this fight, he's going to have to be more diverse. He can't just win a fight off a jab. He's going to have to also, he was headhunting quite a bit. He was targeting the face of du Plessis, and fair enough, he did a lot of damage, but that did not get him the victory. In this fight, I'd like to see more diversity from Sean Strickland. Attack the legs with your kicks, use your body shots, use your head kicks, even drop Paulo Costa with a head kick. And also, one more thing is just mix up your combinations. Don't always, just rely on one punch. Change it up. Use the right hand, use the left hook, an uppercut, a whole bunch of things, even elbows and knees. But Sean Strickland is just going to have to be more diverse in this fight. You cannot just have one or two techniques in your arsenal. Moving on to the third key to victory I have for Sean Strickland, and that's going to be in a lot of his fights, Sean Strickland, including the Dricus du Plessis fight, Sean Strickland gets out of position easily. Whenever his opponents extend combinations on him, he kind of just backs up with his front foot first instead of bringing his back foot first, breaking just basic footwork. And that is dangerous because first, your opponent can clip you when you're not in a strong position to take a shot, and also you're not in a position to effectively counter your opponent for blitzing in, and du Plessis loves to blitz, and Strickland wasn't really doing anything to punish that blitz from du Plessis. So it's important for him to remain in a strong position so that he's able to counter and punish Dricus du Plessis for blitzing in and taking some rounds that way. And Strickland has shown in the past that he can, just take steps back in a strong stance and, still be able to counter his opponents. And in this fight, I think, he is going to have to do that. But moving on to the next key to victory I have for Sean Strickland, and that's going to be now that we've established that Sean Strickland needs to remain in a strong stance, now we can start adding the counter-striking, and this is going to be crucial to beating Dricus du Plessis. I thought Adesanya was going to be able to beat him, because of his counter striking, you know, because of how Duplessis just rushes in, and I thought Adesanya could catch him coming in, but he wasn't able to. And Strickland, he did at times show that he could catch Duplessis coming in, or he could evade strikes and then come back with a counter. And in this fight, he's really going to need to focus on that. You cannot just let Dricus think he can get away with just bullying you and nothing's going to come back his way. No, take a step back, avoid the shots, and then blast this guy. And one thing Dricus Duplessis loves to do is whenever he gets hit, he loves to answer right away with a punch of his own or an attack of his own. It doesn't matter if you kick him or if you punch him. He's the type of guy that wants to get it back right away, so that it leaves an impression on the judges of, oh, this guy landed the last punch in the exchange, and that looked pretty powerful. And he's very, very quick to do that. And also, it gives the impression that what you're doing is not really as significant, because he's just right back in the fire. And since Sean Strickland has a great jab, and we talked about earlier how he needs to use his jab this fight again, he can set traps for Dricus. He can hit him with good, solid jabs, and then wait for Dricus to come in, take a step back, and counter him. Sean Strickland just so happens to have Alex Pereira in his corner for this fight. And we saw in Alex Pereira's last fight, he was doing the exact same thing. He was jabbing Khalil Rountree because he knew that Rountree would try to get it right back right away. And then he was countering him, and that eventually led to him finishing Khalil Rountree. So, if anything, he's got one of the best strikers in the sport to teach him this concept. But moving on to the last key territory I have for Sean Strickland, which is going to be one problem that Sean Strickland has in a lot of his fights is that he just doesn't throw enough. He's super good defensively. He makes his opponent miss a record amount, but he's not really showing his dominance. Yes, you're making your opponent miss a lot, but if you're only, trying to throw jabs while your opponent is constantly going forward, throwing overhands that look like they land, but maybe they didn't land, but from the judge's perspective, it looks like it lands, and they throw a whole bunch of shots like this, I mean, you are going to lose some of these rounds, just like you did against Cannonier and against Duplessis in the first fight. So in this fight, you got to let your hands go. Don't just throw jabs. Even if you do throw jabs, just throw double jabs, throw triple jabs. Just have activity so that you don't, lose a fight, and, your opponent doesn't control the pace of the fight. But that's all I've got for this video. I'm really looking forward to this fight, and if you guys like to see more from me, make sure you guys tune in this Thursday for my prediction on the main card of UFC 312, and then Friday is going to be my prediction for the main event, Dricus Duplessis versus Sean Strickland. Thank you guys for watching. God bless. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.